Hey, what's going on, good people? Armand Owens here once again with another episode of the Daily Unsung Leader, and continuing on with our daily leadership hacks. And today's we're going into number 24 for today. Interesting one. This is not one that I actually planned out as a part of my normal script for the hacks. This kind of came up spontaneously. So having a conversation with my middle child Justice, and we're all going through the having to be teachers, parents, counselors, all these things through this COVID environment, and I'm trying to help her through her studies, and she is 100% going for it. She is go 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 go. Got to get done first. Got to get done quickly. Go 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 go. And she did a quiz, and she didn't do so well at the quiz. And I'm sitting there talking to her, just trying to look through, analyze where she went wrong. She knew the information. She knew all the information for the quiz, but the fact that she was going so quickly really deterred her focus. And I said something to her, and I don't even know where this came from. I told her, I said, hey, Jay, your genius is released when you slow down. Your genius is released when you slow down. And she just looked at me. She was like, oh, that makes sense. Okay. Went back, slowed down, did the quiz, got 100. And it really got me to thinking, about when are we, just as humans, as individuals, when are we at our best? When are we at our most genius-like state? Having a conversation with my wonderful wife, she typically gets up somewhere around the 4 o'clock in the morning time frame, and she gets up and goes, works on coding, works on websites, whatever she's working on, and she typically gets amazing results super early in the morning. And even with problem solving, as we're navigating new things that we are experimenting with and trying out for the first time, she was able to come up with a solution to some of the things that we're working through because she got up super early in the morning. So her genius is released at the break of dawn, where it's still dark outside. The house is really quiet. No kids are going through the house making a bunch of noise. And it's just really got me to thinking, hey, that's a true hack. Figuring out when you are in the most genius-like state. And so I started thinking about myself. For me, I am most productive from the time of about 7 o'clock in the morning all the way through lunch. Right? I am most productive first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning when I first get to work, all the problem-solving aspects of my job, all of the decision-making aspects of my job, all of the innovative ideas, crunching all those things, coming up with new directions, forging new pathways, all these type of things. All those things for me happen better, or analyzed better, or thought through better first thing in the morning. Because typically after lunch, it's not that I'm suffering from the sleep, or the napping that people always talk about. Hey, I feel like I gotta go sleep after lunch. It's not that. It's just I just don't feel at my best. It's just now it's more so. All right, now I'm back down to my average state, so to speak. But in the first thing in the mornings, y'all feel up here, energized, ready to go. And even with filming some of these videos I was doing, the energy is a lot different when I do it in the morning versus doing it, in the afternoon. Because typically I would try to wait to the afternoon once I'm done with all of my things, and then try to put forth the energy to give you for, these hacks. But I realized that I'm actually taking away from the fullness of what I can possibly give you, because I'm slightly diminished after lunch. So the best time that I can give, anybody is, in the mornings. So what I started to do is shifted all of my mundane admin type of stuff, checking emails and responding and all those things, to the afternoon, because that it really doesn't take a lot of thought process, doesn't take a lot of, you know, of thought, of genius, to check your emails and, sign some documents or whatever the case may be. So I ask you, when are you at your most genius-like state? Right? And what are some of the things that diminishes that state? For example, while I am most energetic, brilliant, if you will, in the mornings, if I was to consume carbs in the morning, if I were to consume a high amount of carbs, or if I was to consume milk in the morning, that severely diminishes that genius, right? Because I'm lactose intolerant, and found out that just even with being lactose intolerant, it doesn't just affect my gut, it affects my brain too, right? So I don't eat cereal in the morning, right? And I've told you before, typically first thing, in the morning, I have my bulletproof coffee, and that's about it. I typically don't eat breakfast or eat anything until about 11 or 12, with intermittent fasting. So yeah, so even that diminishes, my ability to bring the best of myself forward, right? So realizing those times of day that you may be your most productive. You may be your most productive when the sun goes down, right? You may be a night owl. You may be an early morning person, right? But combine those times with what you're consuming, right? How you're consuming them is important to know when you are your most genius-like. When are you releasing your genius? And genius is not just about being productive. It's also about being creative, right? Because the most creative times for me doesn't always coincide with that morning time. Doesn't always coincide with those time frames. Because the most creative times, for myself, comes when I'm listening to music, a specific type of music. I'm not going to talk about what I listen to, because y'all not going to drag me, for what I listen to. But if you know me, you know. When I'm in the shower, when I'm driving, for a long period of time, all these ideas begin to incubate and burst forward at perfect times when I don't have a pen ready to write them down. But so figuring out when you're most creative, when you are at your most genius-like, is extremely, extremely important to the people that you have the privilege of leading, right? Because if you are interacting with people and you may not be as skilled or as energetic, when interacting with people, you may want to schedule your meetings with people when you are most energetic, when you are most genius-like. Because for me, if I have to do a meeting with somebody in the afternoon, they're not going to get the best of me. And I want to make sure that when people interact with me, they get the best version of me, that I'm not cheating them in some way, shape, or form. Just because I recognize that as a servant leader, they deserve the best of me, right? So in that way, I know I got to recognize, hey, what's the best I can give somebody, and what gives me the best likelihood of giving them exactly what they need. And I know for me, that's, first thing in the morning, and being careful of what I consume throughout the day, and not just food, right? But what content am I consuming throughout the day? What music am I consuming throughout the day? Because, garbage in, garbage in, garbage in, garbage in, garbage out, right? So being mindful of what I consume, when I consume it, how I consume it, determines when my genius and how that genius is released. So take a minute, analyze yourself throughout the day, write it down, ask yourself a couple of questions. When is my genius released? Let me know what you think about it. Like, share, subscribe, all those good things. Let me know what you think in the comments. I love the feedback. And this is Leadership Hack number 24, Unsung Leader Out.